Hey, what's up, guys? Alex here. Welcome to my neighborhood here in the York Borough of Toronto. This is the district of Briar Hill, Belgravia, right outside Cedarville Subway and LRT station, which is a major interchange station between both lines. And there is Allen Road, which is a major expressway, albeit pretty short though. And there's a complicated history with that expressway. We're not going to get into that today. But I'm actually making this video for a university assignment in city politics. No, I'm not showing my professor this video, but I think this might help me with something. So I'm doing an assignment where I talk about a specific ward, and the ward I live in, of course, is Eglinton Lawrence, although Eglinton Avenue is the boundary of Eglinton Lawrence to the north and Toronto St. Paul to the south. And I decided to choose the underrated neighborhood, or sorry, the underrated BIA of Little Jamaica, which again doesn't get enough spotlight in the media or representation. It once used to be a very thriving area, but of course, with the Eglinton LRT construction, that has really had a negative impact. Hundreds of businesses between Marley Avenue and Keele Street have shuttered or relocated. And it was just before the line opened up 2 weeks ago that Little Jamaica declared itself in a state of emergency. And that's because, businesses were losing a lot of money from the lack of foot traffic because of the construction. But we're going to see how it is now. It's a pretty shitty day to be out because, as you can tell, it is raining. And it's also Friday, February 20th already, 2026. And it is around 2:10 p.m. I could have walked here from my place because, I got off the 109 and just exited through that entrance. Because normally I would use I would exit the station when I'm going home, just like I did last night, but it just felt a bit weird. At least it's not raining that hard, so I think it's safe. But I'm going to be reviewing this video after this to take notes from my observations here. So yeah, we have a major subway station behind me. I have to take note of the sites as well, so that's something we're going to do here. All right, here's Marley Avenue. And for many, many years, traffic has always been pretty bad in this area. At rush hour, it still is. Thankfully, we're not seeing that many buses on Eglinton Avenue with the LRT already open. And there's my bus through the 109. That's the same bus I got off and decided to make the long trek. Yeah, so this part of Eglinton has a wide range of small businesses. Again, Little Jamaica was like I said, was once a thriving area for Black Canadians that originated from Jamaica. They had recording studios and many different shops, some of which have been around for decades. But like I said, this whole area has really changed. Yeah, I should have walked. I think I should have walked here from my place. It's not even that bad out. But yeah, I pretty much come here almost all the time. I'm like a 10-minute walk from here. So yeah, again, Little Jamaica is one of the more underrated areas in the city. There's several different shops here that are very notable to Torontonians, like Randy's Patties and Rap's Chicken. I'm trying to take note of detail around here, as well as what the area looks like on a rainy ass day. And we'll be passing by 2 LRT stations, that being Oakwood and Fairbank. It's hard to tell It's just so hard to tell what's really been here. Because again, hundreds of businesses have had to close and or relocate. Trying to fire responding. There's the 34 Eglinton bus. Here's one piece of culture that really stands out here. Reggae Lane. I've always liked that that mural. Really represents the community here. There's also a laneway behind there. Spence's Bakery has been around for a while. Looks like it closed. Oh boy. And then of course, a huge staple on the left here, Rap's Chicken. There's several barber shops around here. Oh boy, really smells like jerk chicken here. I bet you those fire vehicles came from the station on Oakwood. Look at that. Why don't any of these idiots pull over, man? That's crazy. Okay, I lied. There aren't that many buses on Eglinton. Just not as much as we saw, you know, before the LRT. Unfortunately, it's going to take a really long time for this area to recover from the LRT construction. I'll grab a thumbnail here. Another one, at least to put in my Google document. And there's Randy's Patties, which has been around since 1979. It did close in 2022. We thought it was for good, but it reopened in the summer of 2024. And you know, even though I live in the area, I have not been here in a really long time. As someone that's a huge Jamaican beef patty fan, would love to, you know, come back here. But yeah, there it is. And then this here is supposed to be another Jamaican restaurant. And here is Oakwood Avenue and Oakwood LRT station. And there's a brand new Tim Hortons which opened up last month. So now that is my new local Timmy's. So sometimes I would walk down here. I'm not sure if I'll be paying that a visit. There's a pizza. And then this place here just opened up, Superlicious. Let me cross back to the other side here. The only reason why I crossed to the south side so I could show you more of the prominent businesses here. It seems like a few people are out right now because of the weather, even though it's not as bad as what everyone else thinks. And then there's another entrance to Oakwood Station. There have been a couple of street festivals here in recent years, but they weren't able to bring them back last year because of the financial constraints. Oh great, now my battery's at 20%. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, look, here's a close-up business. And at least more than half of these storefronts are still vacant. Again, here's the unnecessary land use here, just so they can have like indoor bicycle parking and stuff. Get out of here. Should be more retail. And this here used to be oh yeah, look, it's still here, but it's closing. Yeah, see, another victim to the post-LRT construction. But also because of gentrification too. So, well, now that the LRT is open, I mean, business owners are really hoping that, you know, this area can attract more people, right? Because I honestly, little Jamaica has been hard hit from the construction, and it really desperately needs some support. And as I keep saying, you know, I made a series of videos walking along the entire Line 5, and I mentioned that, you know, these businesses here should really get some compensation from all the money they lost over the many years. Right? It's been very hard for this community. But maybe one day it'll be back. There's Glenholm Avenue. I don't even know what I'm going to do after this. But hey, at least I made a walking video. If it does rain a bit harder later, then at least I have this one. But now we have mostly just these mini strip plazas. And whatever businesses have been here for a while, again, it's hard to tell. Other than the more prominent ones, it's hard to tell who has moved here or left. Of course, I can always go on Google Street View. But it's many of these businesses here that are just they're just hanging on to a thread. Because even though the construction is finished many years ago, they're still hanging on. They need a lot of support. And like I said, you know, we're in York. This is my home borough. I lived here all my life. This is the most underrated borough in the city. And like I said, it doesn't get enough spotlight or representation. And I think it really should be represented in like art, for example. Josh Matlow, counselor for Toronto St. Paul's, said that Cedarvale and Oakwood stations really have art to represent little Jamaica and this community here. Yeah, traffic's a little bit busy here. And thank God we're not riding the buses anymore. Oh shit, the lights are out. Here at Northcliffe Boulevard. This is my nearest library here, even though I don't often go to the library, which is often quite strange. But this is another notable restaurant here, Cheryl's Caribbean Cuisine. It looks new. I have a feeling this place is new, and I might have had it at some point. I just don't remember. You know, this comes at a perfect time too, because February is Black History Month. And Church's Texas Chicken, that's another chain restaurant. It's been around for like friggin' 3 years here. Hey, there's the mural of Jimmy Wisdom, who I think was a Canadian Jamaican musician, and his legacy is being shown here. Unfortunately, these stupid U-Haul trucks are blocking, but you get the idea. And then most of the streets here just typically consist of these post-war bungalows and the single-family homes. I mean, that's very, very typical of York. I mean, York is a very working-class borough. Hydro crews working to restore. Of all the years I've been riding the Eglinton bus here, I always took notice of the many businesses here. A lot of them which shuttered, they're just still hanging on. It's really sad to see a little Jamaica in this state. Like I said, I really hope it makes a comeback. This was a short-lived restaurant here. It's called Caribbean Slice. I remember when this was new, back in 2021, and then I don't know when it closed. But I know they have a location on Queen Street West, which is quite ironic. And look, there's our second Tim Hortons of the day here. This one's been around for a while. This Latin store has been here since 1985. And then this 12 Shawarma used to be an Indian restaurant. And then before that was a McDonald's. Yeah, another vacant business here. Oh shit, now we're at 10% of battery here. Hold on, let me plug my phone in. Gonna wrap it up in maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Here's another restaurant I really want to try out someday. Kingston 12 Patty Shop. Oh my god, it smells good inside. We have an outdoor grill here, much like the one at Wraps. So here's another business here. I'll definitely have to pay them a visit, but I really want to go back to Randy's. I've been meaning to go there for a while, just haven't had the chance or opportunity to. Maybe I'll go on a... Maybe I will go on a better day when it's not so shitty out, but... Technically, Little Jamaica goes all the way to Keele Street, but in my books, it's between Marley Avenue and Dufferin Street, and then of course, this is where the Fairbank BIA begins. So, yeah, this is a Mexican place here. Someone was telling me about it. Some pretty good tacos, I've heard. But yeah, we made it to Dufferin Street. I hope I covered enough here. Again, if you want to see more... Again, I mean, I haven't done much walking videos along Eglinton Avenue just because, you know, the construction. I wanted to wait till the LRT is open. But I have a playlist of all the videos that I've walked along here where I go into detail around the neighborhood and my personal upbringing, because, again, I grew up in this area, so I still do. All right, I'm gonna go into Fairbank Station. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna go next, but I am gonna hop on the LRT, go for a ride. It's gonna be rush hour pretty soon. But thankfully, it's not actually that bad. I can even do a second walking video somewhere else. And also, I was watching Team Canada beat Finland, a comeback. Oh man, that was amazing. Now I gotta try and get my ass up for the gold medal game on Sunday at 8 a.m. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be against the U.S. It's going to recreate memories of 2010. I really cannot wait for it. That was an incredible hockey game. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more videos. Check out my others as well. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care and peace out. Bye-bye.